The rain had already soaked through his jacket when Ethan Walker checked the time for the third time in 2 minutes. 15 minutes late. The interview that could change everything was slipping through his fingers, and his old pickup was crawling through traffic like it knew the weight of the moment. That was when he saw her, small, fragile, stranded on the edge of the road in a wheelchair, rain pouring down around her like the world had forgotten she existed. Ethan's foot hovered over the gas pedal. If he stopped, he'd lose the interview. If he didn't, he'd lose something far more important. Before we go any further, if stories of kindness, sacrifice, and unexpected miracles move you, tap like, subscribe to the channel, and stay with us till the end, because what happens next will change how you see the power of a single choice. Ethan was a single dad and a mechanic by trade, the kind who could coax life out of engines everyone else had given up on. His hands were always stained with grease, his knuckles scarred, and his back permanently sore from years of bending under hoods. But none of that bothered him as much as the fear he carried every day, the fear of not being enough for his 8-year-old daughter, Lily. Since his wife passed away 3 years earlier, life had become a careful balancing act of school drop-offs, late-night repairs, unpaid bills, and quiet grief that never fully went away. The interview he was rushing to was for a supervisor position at a large auto company. Better pay, benefits, stability, a chance to finally breathe. He slowed the truck. The girl couldn't have been more than 20, her dark hair plastered to her face, hands shaking as she tried to shield herself from the rain. One wheel of her chair was twisted awkwardly, clearly broken. Cars sped past her, splashing water, drivers staring straight ahead. Ethan cursed under his breath, pulled over, and grabbed his jacket. "Hey," he called out gently. "You okay?" She looked up, startled, her eyes sharp despite the exhaustion. I'm stuck. The wheel jammed, and my phone died." Ethan glanced back at his truck, then at the time again. He swallowed hard. "Let's get you out of this rain." He pushed her wheelchair toward a small bus shelter, rain soaking them both. The wheel was bent badly. He knelt, ignoring the cold water seeping into his jeans, examining the damage with a mechanic's instinct. "I can fix this," he said. "It'll take a bit." "You don't have to," she replied quickly. "I know you're busy." He smiled softly. "So are you. Doesn't mean you should be left alone like this." As he worked, using tools from his truck, she watched him with quiet curiosity. "What's your name?" she asked. "Ethan. And you?" "Claire." The rain eased into a drizzle as Ethan straightened the wheel as best he could, reinforcing it enough to roll safely. By the time he finished, nearly an hour had passed. His interview was long gone. "I missed something important today," he admitted, wiping his hands on a rag. Claire's expression tightened. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to." "It's okay," he interrupted gently. "Some things matter more." He helped her back into the chair and offered to drive her wherever she needed to go. She hesitated, then nodded. "If you don't mind." During the drive, they talked. Claire was thoughtful, intelligent, with a dry sense of humor. She didn't complain about her condition, didn't seek pity. When they reached a sleek glass building downtown, Ethan frowned. "This is me," she said. He blinked. "You work here." She smiled, a small, knowing smile. "Something like that." He helped her inside, wished her luck, and drove away, trying not to think about the voicemail he'd soon hear telling him the position had been filled. Days passed. Bills piled up. Lily asked if they'd have to move again. Ethan reassured her, even though his chest felt tight with worry. Then one morning, his phone rang. "Is this Ethan Walker?" A calm, professional voice asked. "Yes. This is Claire Bennett. I was wondering if you could come by my office today." He almost laughed. "I'm sorry, I think you've got the wrong." "I don't," she said gently. "Please come." And Ethan, "Thank you for stopping that day." Curiosity and confusion followed him into the same glass building. This time, he noticed the name etched in steel near the entrance, Bennett Automotive Group. The boardroom was quiet when he entered. Claire was at the head of the table, composed, confident, a completely different presence from the rain-soaked girl he'd helped. "I'm the CEO," she said simply. Ethan froze. I didn't know." "I know," she replied. "That's why this matters." She explained how she'd been testing something, not people, but the world. How often she'd been treated as invisible since the accident that took her ability to walk. How executives, employees, and strangers alike had walked past her that day. Except one man who chose compassion over opportunity. "You missed your interview because of me," she said. He nodded. "I don't regret it," she smiled. "Good. Because I don't either. She offered him a position, not just the supervisor role he'd applied for, but a leadership role with training, benefits, and flexible hours. A job that would change his and Lily's life. Tears burned Ethan's eyes. Why me? Because skill can be taught, Claire said. Character can't. Ethan walked out that day with hope he hadn't felt in years. At home, Lily hugged him tight when he told her. Mom would be proud, she whispered. Months later, Ethan watched Claire roll confidently through the workshop, respected and admired. He'd learned that sometimes the moment you think you're losing everything is the moment you're becoming who you were meant to be. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Stories like these remind us that kindness is never wasted, and the smallest choices can lead to the biggest miracles.